I am sick and tired of hearing liberals say, oh, Obamacare is the law of the land. You know what? Laws can change. And you know what? This one needs to. And when the American people don't approve of something in an over 50% margin, and it's not infringing anybody's rights to repeal or enact it, you can't say over 50% of the people want to get rid of guns because they have the right to defend themselves and the right to bear arms. And that's a God-given, unalienable, or even if you don't believe in God, an inalienable right as declared by our founders. And I think it's an obvious truth. People have the right to defend themselves with the means, whatever means the criminal will come at them with. They gotta have that too. So, once we're past that, and this is not taking away a right. People don't have a right. They have a right to be happy and be healthy, but they don't have a right to make me pay for it. That's infringing on my freedom. You get it? Let's take this a little further now. They say, well, it's been declared constitutional by the Supreme Court. I say that next because it kind of ties into that, because it's not constitutional if you're stealing from somebody else to do it. Because now you're infringing on my happiness and freedom, because I don't want it. And the mob rule is not ever the excuse. Well, most people want that, but when you have to steal from me and make most people happy, it's not okay, because we are founded on the rights and freedom of the individual. That's why we're a republic and not a straight democracy, to protect the country from mob rule. So you can say all you want, it's the law of the land. The Supreme Court upheld it. The Supreme Court is wrong, and all 9 of the justices on the Supreme Court right now would cringe when they got in a debate with me, because I would show them the hypocrisy of what they say in an inarguable way, which I am doing for you right now. You can't even, there's no way to excuse yourself around what I'm saying. When you steal from me and give something to somebody else, that's wrong, and that's unconstitutional, and that's not infringing on their freedom to have health care. That's stealing from me, is what it's doing. And you know what? We all should be good people and help people, but we shouldn't be forced to do it at the hands of the federal government. That's theft. And your Supreme Court, and I hate hearing, I'm going to say it one more time, I hate hearing the argument that the Supreme Court said that, oh, we find this constitutional. I hate that you say that. Because you know what? They're wrong. The justices in the Supreme Court are wrong. They are wrong on the law. They are pushing a political agenda. 4 of them are dead wrong. 4 of them are wrong because they've been sat there silent when it happened. And Justice Kennedy, you're a freaking coward for betraying your principles. Letting Obama, when he said, oh, there's nothing in the State of the Union, let him threaten you like that. And actually then you let him threaten you? You don't say something about that? I feel like that's a threat. You should have said that. But you know what? Instead of just saying that, even worse, you actually bowed to his intimidation. Or no, sorry, Roberts, I think. Or Kennedy, I think. Either way, it's not legal. And just because some idiots in black robes say it is, does not mean that you have the right to steal from me. All around this country, and liberals, you have to agree with this, I mean, especially things like marijuana laws, which you're like, against. You think that people should have the right to smoke dope. I think they should too. Hey, the fuck, right? They're not going to bother anybody, let them. But all around this country, every day, people are sentenced to jail time for smoking a plant. A lot of them that didn't do a thing to anybody else. If they hear somebody else violating the process or stole from somebody, yeah, they should be where they're at. But a lot of those people didn't do that, did they? And they shouldn't be there. And that guy in that case, then Black Robe, was wrong. So how can you say this guy over here is always right? You can't. Every day, people get put in jail. California, you can go for like your second offense. You can go 30 days in county jail for not having a driver's license. When I have a right to travel. Oh, judge is wrong again. Go figure. And they're wrong too. Out there in D.C. In that big building where they forgot the simple meanings of words like shall not be infringed. Where they've forced people to buy something simply because they breathe. Like healthcare. And through fake courts, they've stolen away the justice from our system. Star courts, the FISA courts, underneath the Capitol, and the Star Chamber. Our system is broken. In the legislative branch, where both parties violate the Constitution, to the president who issues mandates on things that he has no right to whatsoever, and passes and encourages laws that violate our individual fundamental rights. And now the court system, the last of the 3 branches. that okays and legalizes theft. You cannot fix a system with the same broken system. Wake up, America. And liberals, shut the hell up. Just because the Supreme Court system is okay doesn't mean that they're right. They are flawed men, just like all of us are. And we have to take those higher principles like we find in the Constitution and go by those, and not what some flawed men in black robes say. Examine your premise for your argument. Examine the foundation on which you sit. You have good intentions, I know, to help people out. But when good intentions are not based in reality, they only lead to bad results. That is the difference between really true conservatives and not what we see in the GOP today, because that is not, and in true republicanism, I should say Republicans. The conservatives take it too far in bad association. But it's a difference. Liberals believe in the good of man. Man is not good. We strive to do good, because we don't do good naturally. So you can't base laws on good intention. You have to base it on reality. Such as criminals will always have guns. There will always be a black market for them. If you could de-invent the gun, make it never appear on the face of the earth, take away everybody's knowledge of it ever existing, every book is erased from. I'm okay with that. But you can't do that until you can de-invent something completely and like reset the clock, powering 100 years back when the first one was invented, and make it like it never happened. Every gun control law is a farce. Just like this healthcare law is a farce, because it requires theft from a person that person may not approve of. Wake up, America. Don't buy these lines. Oh, the Supreme Court says it's constitutional. It is not. It's the law of the land. That needs to be changed. Wake up. Chuck Burns for the USA. Subscribe and look out pretty soon. Because pretty soon, we're going to need to begin the world over again.